Namaste, everybody. Welcome back to our session 2 on Are You Breathing Right? So, I hope you all have joined in, and we will be discussing today some concepts of stress and breathing. How do we usually breathe when we are in stress, and how to breathe to get rid of our stress and manage it effectively. So, before we start with the class and some practice today, let's get into the present moment. Let's again sit comfortably wherever we are right now, sitting upright, keeping your back straight. Most of the times we hold a lot of tension on our shoulders, knowingly, unknowingly. So roll your shoulders and bring them down. Open your chest nicely. Take this time to be completely with yourself. Now for first few seconds, let's go outside and listen to the sounds coming around us. Maybe it's some birds chirping, it's the sound of the fan in the room, or anything that you can hear around you, some vehicle. You can one by one take your awareness to every sound around you, or you can focus on one particular sound. And now let's come back to the room and now bring our awareness from the sound to our breathing. Let us now observe our natural breaths. See how the breath is coming in and going out. Just observe your natural breathing. You may want to keep your eyes closed throughout this nice small practice to internalize your awareness. And now slowly we will start by rubbing our palms together, creating some nice warmth in between your palms. Bringing the warmth of our palms on the face. You can cup your eyes, opening your eyes there. And slowly bringing your hands down. Okay, hope that all of you are in the present moment now with this small practice. And let's quickly revise what did we do yesterday. So we discussed on some theory part about the importance of breathing, that how this phenomena of breath, which we mostly kind of not much worried, right? Because see, right now I'm talking to you, you are listening to me, but we are still breathing. So it's okay, it's happening on its own. But that phenomena is such a wonderfully designed that if I ask you now, all of you, that are you breathing? Of course, your answer is going to be yes. But if I ask you that, can you make your breathing slightly deeper? Can you? Yes. Now, can you make your breathing a little faster? Again, yes. So you see, there are certain things in the body that we can't control in volunteer and volunteer. If I want to move, I can move my hand. But if I say, yesterday I had some heavy food, that let me just go inside, do something and digest my food a little faster today or better way. Do we have control over that? No. So breath is a wonderful phenomena which is God given, which we can also control on our own. We can modify it, we can make it faster or slower, or we can also, it's happening naturally, controlled by involuntary. So that is the importance of the breath that we understood yesterday. and how breath is so much connected with our physiological well-being, with our prana or energy levels in the body, or also with the mental health. So we took some examples of how anger affects our breathing pattern, how when we have low energy in the body, we end up breathing out, and how because of not breathing properly, we have lack of oxygen in the body and improper way of eliminating the carbon dioxide outside, which can accumulate toxins in the body and overall decrease the efficiency of various internal organs that are supposed to perform optimally. So these are some of the connections that we saw yesterday, that how breath is so important, that simple adding a simple correct breathing to your whatever healing practices that you're doing, whatever medications you are on, it'll help your healing journey. So this is the reason why we spoke about that first step to do any practice of pranayam. The base is to really see if you're breathing right or not. So for that, if you remember, we saw one technique called as the diaphragmatic breathing, or I would rather call it as a full yogic breathing, focusing on the abdomen, lower chest and upper chest, or the clavicular region. So we check how we can breathe in these three different layers, just so that we can breathe in fully and deeply. And this is also a way we can correct the breathing. So what were the incorrect ways of breathing? I'm sure all of you took some time yesterday, hoping that, where you saw your breath and checked whether you are a shallow breather, whether you are a reverse breather, where you have shorter exhalations, or you have a slimmer breath where you tuck your abdomen. So I'm sure you also checked that out. So hoping that you have already trying your best to now correct your breathing. So we did deep conscious breathing in lying down position yesterday. That is a better way of self-correcting your own breath. And we also concluded by a statement that it does not mean that whole day have to be super and extra conscious of the breath. That, okay, how am I breathing now? Am I using my belly? No, don't worry about it. Some practice on the mat is just definitely going to improve the way you breathe off the mat. We also discussed one wonderful analogy, that how our breath is like a small child. That when we look at the child with a stern look, how it starts to behave if he's being naughty, he or she. And same happens with our nice breath. That the moment we start observing, somehow it starts auto correcting as well. So this is the way you can spend some mindful time and doing some mindful breathing as well, right? So today we are going to check some of the practice parts, some little bit of theory on stress and breathing, and how to actually breathe when we are in stressful situations or the mind is here and there a lot. So we're going to check that as well. Before we go into any practice, we will, before we go into any theory, I want you to do some practice today, so that we stay more fresh and alive. And a couple of you yesterday were talking about some allergy, blocked nostrils. So this is a wonderful preparation for those who always feel that when they try to breathe in deeply, or when they're trying to do some pranayam practices advised, then they're not able to breathe fully and properly. So I'm going to show you today some variations of what we call as fast breathing, which will really help you not just in breathing fully and deeply, but if you are suffering from blocked nostril, it will help you to regularize that pattern as well. And also, it will improve the capacity of your lungs. Plus, name of the game now, immunity. Your immunity is going to definitely improve because of the different ways you're going to breathe in and out in a systematic way. Okay? So I have some questions here. Maybe I can take up at the end, instead of whether which part of scripture is to essential of study. So maybe I will take the question at the end of the session. Yes. Okay. So let's focus on the practice now. This fast breathing can be done by everyone. Only one contraindication is for anyone who has hypertension, any active heart disorders. You can do few rounds gradually. You don't have to push yourself. Otherwise, few rounds are not going to hamper your high blood pressure if it's under control. So need not worry about it. Otherwise, anybody can do this. And in fact, it's a wonderful preparation to do before pranayam, to do before any breathing practice. if you always have allergy issues, you can't breathe properly, the nostrils are blocked, low immunity, weak capacity of the lungs. It's a wonderful pre-pranayam practice, I can say. So what we're going to do in this is we're going to breathe in and out with one nostril at a time. There are various variations. We're going to focus on few basic ones. So you have to breathe in and out through only one nostril at a time. I know it will be a struggle for some of us who have our one nostril blocked. So don't worry if you think that one nostril is more active than the other at this point of time. This is completely normal and human for all of us. Our nostrils usually shift the functioning after 90 minutes. So it's completely okay. It's normal. When these timings they vary a lot, it goes beyond 90 minutes or it's lesser, more, that's the time we have some imbalances in the body. So the approximate time frame where it's not that it's completely blocked, but you will see that the amount of air coming in and out, you will experience that one nostril is always more opened up than the other one. So that's completely normal. So with this, we're going to try only with one nostril. So we will start with inhaling and exhaling through the left nostril first. Okay. So with your right hand, you're going to make this specific mudra for all the pranayam practices that we mostly do. So here I'm going to close my these two fingers, which is my index finger and the middle finger like this. So I have my thumb and ring finger and small finger free for the mudra. And now we're going to close the right nostril first, your right nostril, right? And we're going to just close our eyes and start to breathe in and out with the left one. Okay. So let's start. You can follow my pace. If it's faster for you, don't worry. You can also do the pace that you're comfortable with. And mainly here in any fast breathing, naturally the abdomen is working, but the more focus will be on the chest expansion and contraction. So that is also okay. So closing the right nostril and you can start closing your eyes. Okay, very nice. Relax. Now, if you know Kapalbhati, what is going to happen now? You know, you're going to suck your belly in like this. I'll go behind just to show you how it happens. See. This is really not the technique that we're looking for right now. It is not either Kapalbhati that we are doing, nor the proper fast breathing benefits that we get. So make sure those who know Kapalbhati are in a problem. You may end up doing this. So we are not doing Kapalabhati here. We're not sucking the belly in. The movement is in and out, up and down. Okay, not sucking it in like this. Okay, so be mindful about that. This is really nice practice. You can do up to around 15, 20 rounds every day before you start your breathing practices. Okay, then the next one is, of course, we're going to use our opposite nostril, the right one. So here with the same mudra, always with the right hand, we're going to close our left nostril and then breathe in and out with the right one now. So again, keeping your back straight, relax your shoulders, close your eyes. And let's begin now, inhaling and exhaling at a faster pace with the right nostril. Okay, very nice. Exhale and relax. Good. So this was fast breathing variation where we use our one nostril at a time to breathe in and breathe out. Very good for releasing any mucus that we are holding here. So it's very normal. If you see something coming out, some water, it's completely okay. You can keep one handkerchief with you all the time when you do this practice. It will really help you in boosting your immunity. So you see, yes, Sukhbirji said that one of his nostril is closed. So if it's completely closed, we have to work on it gradually by doing this practice. And you have to check also if there's any other symptoms that you experience along with that. But mostly, even for us, even for me today, I realized that my right now, at this point of time, my left nostril is more dominant one, and I could breathe in and breathe out fully with it. And the right one was partially, it was not completely closed, but a little less functioning. And I'm sure since I've observed it now with you, I'm going to also check it after some time and see which one is more dominant. So nostrils are always dominant one over the other. So if you have experienced it, it's completely normal right now. Okay. So this was with left and right. We will do one more practice, which is also again giving us the same benefits of improved capacity of our lungs and help us to get us the best benefits of the pranayam that we do usually. This is also now alternate nostril fast breathing. So previously I just used my one nostril. You can do this practice even for up to 2 rounds, 3 rounds if you are able to do lesser number of rounds. If you're able to do more than 15, 20, you are okay with 1 or 2 rounds as well. So when I say 15, 20, I mean strokes. So these are strokes that I'm doing, right? So the next practice is also one of the variations of fast breathing. And here we inhale to the left now and exhale right. Inhale left, exhale right. Inhale left, exhale right. So we do that. Okay. So we're going to try it again together. So now all of you, you can just close your right nostril. Same mudra. If you are used to some other mudra, you can do that, no problem. Okay, I will interrupt here because it's an important question here. Because if you've had a breakfast, so what you can do is do not move too much of your abdomen. Let's just work with the nostrils. So you can do that way. But for others, you can work also a little bit with your abdomen. So if you've had any breakfast right now, you can just try to do it more nostril dominant practice. And if you're feeling still uncomfortable, you can skip it. You can just observe it for your next practice. So ideally, of course, we need to be empty stomach, or at least we should have half an hour of gap between the light meal or any drink that we have taken. If it's a heavy breakfast, then obviously more than 1 hour, 1.5 hour gap should be there. Okay. So those who are on an empty stomach or just on some herbal drink can go ahead and do this practice. Others can just do it with the little bit of a nostril one. So let's close the right nostril now. We haven't started yet. And let's inhale through right and exhale left, little faster, but because we want to energize the body also and improve the capacity of our lungs. Let's begin. Okay, relax. Very nice. So don't worry if you're not able to do it, you feel it's overwhelming, I'm getting tired, that's okay. You can, with practice, you can improve this. And if you are right now feeling a little lightheaded or dizzy, remember it's completely normal. That's a completely normal feeling that one can have doing some dynamic fast breathing. Okay. Now we will change it and we will breathe in through the right and exhale through the left. Okay, so again, using the same right hand always as mentioned in the yoga scriptures. So we will be using the right hand now to close the left nostril to begin with. And now inhaling right, exhale left. Okay, exhale and relax. Wonderful. So as a sample to make you understand, we're just doing 1 round today. However, gradually with more practice, consistency, you can go up to 2 rounds. So that was one was with left, second one was with right, then third was with left in, right out, the fourth one right in, left out. And now obviously we come to a final stage where we want to now breathe in and breathe out with both the nostrils. So we can go systematically like this to improve and enhance how both the nostrils function. So now we're going to inhale and exhale through both the nostrils together, like a little faster and dynamic. This is very similar to Bhastrika Pranayam if anybody is doing here. Very similar to that, but here in this variation, we're not using any arm movement, which is usually happens in the fast breathing Bhastrika. So there's a preparation. So we are just still working with more of our nostril and expansion of the chest and improving the capacity of our lungs. So let's get started now, inhaling and exhaling through both the nostrils. Again, you can sit in any comfortable pose of your choice and keeping your back straight, sitting upright. And let's begin now. We're going to inhale and exhale through both the nostrils, keeping your eyes closed. Let's begin. Continue for some more time. Namaste everybody, welcome back to our session. It's very normal, slightly dizzy. The sensation is very overwhelming after you do your fast breathing. You can just quickly bring your head down towards the mat. If it's not reaching yet because of the belly size, don't worry. You can have some hand support or just some pillow there. You can also do that. Or you can also lie down in Shavasana. That's also fine. Completely. Okay. So this was some variations of fast breathing that are really, really important and works as nice pre-pranayam practices in a way. Okay. So now, hoping that you're feeling a little energized already with fast breathing. There are different various benefits even of this simple practice, which is not even a pranayam, to be honest. As per the authentic scriptures, what we did is not even exact pranayam. However, still, it has wonderful benefits of improving your digestive system. Anybody looking for weight loss, helping in in the fat loss management, that even this practice is going to help, is going to be a helping aid along with the different things or the diet or whatever plans that you're following, other exercises. So adding this is a wonderful idea for your digestive health, for weight management, for any skin diseases that you have. Because what happens with fast breathing practices is we are clearing things, we are releasing toxins out, and we are making our prana to flow well. The problem is when the prana, the energy that I was talking about yesterday, when this does not flow in the body properly, it creates some blockages. And depending on those blockages, then we start to experience some pain and aches and some disorders and diseases in the body. So all these practices are also helping us to nicely have our prana flowing. And then we can regularize various functions in the body. So even the simple practice, which is a pre-pranayam in a way, has tremendous benefits to improve the lung capacity, improve your immunity as well. Anybody always facing these issues of cold and cough frequently with every changing season, if you find yourself getting cough and cold, or some, the immunity is very low, then trust me, tried and tested on many therapeutic needs here with many students, patients, relatives, family members. It has really worked, this breathing pattern. So this is also a wonderful practice you can add before your pranayam or just to improvise on your overall breathing pattern, right? Okay, so let's move to a little bit of theory now, and practice both in a way. Stress. Now, if I ask you this question, how many of us face stress sometimes? Two hands raised up for me as well. So now I want to honestly confess that if you think I'm a yoga teacher, I may not have stress or I may not perceive some situations as stressful. I'm sorry, you're in an illusion. All of us, no matter what we do, it's just my experience it as doing a yoga practitioner. I have learned with the help of my teachers and the beautiful teachings that the management is much better. But it does not mean that one does not have stress. So what is the various things that stress impact to? I don't want to give you any lecture on what impact does stress have. I think the whole media, all the health bloggers are writing about it a lot. So we will not put my time on that. We already are convinced. I don't have to prove it to you anymore in this modern age that what stress is doing to us. But since it's a breath workshop and it's a happy breathing day today, we're going to speak on the breath and stress a little more. So what happens to your breath when you are in stress? Most likely, you those who are in Zoom or Instagram, you can also type it if you want. So what happens to our breath when you are in stress? You can also show me by your actions. I can see few of you. Something that we discussed yesterday, right? Faster or shallow. Along with the different things. Just a minute. I'm having some problem with my Facebook here. It's gone. Facebook is gone, so no problem. Some network issue. I'm just going to try it again. If it happens, just give me half a minute. So I'm getting the answers by now. So good, I'm happy. So keep thinking what happens to your breath when you are in stress. So faster or sometimes even erratic. Erratic is the right word, I feel, because it's different for different people. Erratic, either fast, shallow, restricted, not proper. And what to speak of people who, correct, yeah, it's fast. What to speak of people who already have asthma, respiratory disorders? That is what also triggers their symptoms actually. So in stress, our breathing is either shallow, erratic. So what is the first shallow breathing? Yes, Shanmugh. So what is the first step of understanding how are we breathing in the stressful situation? Is to develop the muscles called as. Now, am I going to speak about some muscles here in the breathing? I'm talking about the subtle muscles right now. So, what is the first step? The first step of developing this understanding that yes, my breath has changed because I'm in stress. And those muscles, I call them most important muscles of our system, which is awareness. You will conquer so many things and situations in your life if you're aware about it. What happens most of the times? We have a situation and we react to it. So there's a very less space in between where we have time to respond or to kind of work on letting go aspect or to work on correcting aspect and then react or respond or whatever. So the gap is very less. And who is going to fill up that gap? Our awareness muscles. When we are aware that, oh, yes, I am in stress. It's not wrong to have stress. You may, I mean, it's inevitable. You have some deadlines. I mean, what to speak in Corona times? Every other day, even we are getting phone calls of our students and family members around infected with Corona, and unfortunately, even very severe cases too. So, of course, we all are going to have stress, inevitable. But how we respond to it, our breath is one of the wonderful tool on how we can still ease down on it. Certain things, even if they are stressful, it's not in our area of control. When I hear some bad news, I won't be able to change it. It is right now. It's just that I have to take up some time now to assimilate and accept it with with how much it can affect least to my body and breath and emotions, everything. Right? So this is where this breath is going to be extremely helpful. And I want to give you one magic formula now. So you already rightly picked up that what happens to our breath when we are in stress. It's correct. We all have experienced it. So what you can do, first I'm going to tell you the technique, the breathing pattern that you should use when you perceive yourself to be in the stress. And towards the end, at some point, I also want to share with you one magic trick on how to even develop this awareness at the first place. Sometimes you're not even aware that I am in stress and I'm breathing wrong. So that technique is really beneficial, and I would like you to become ambassador of sharing that technique with as many as you can. Okay, the magic one. So right now I'm going to speak on the technique. So stress can affect the breathing a lot. It can increase our sympathetic response. Now, what is sympathetic response and what is parasympathetic response? We're going to quickly understand that first, very precisely in a very simple language so that we don't freak out with some anatomy and physiology words. You don't have to worry about it. So what happens? Our autonomic nervous system, which is functioning, let's call whatever you understand nervous system, it is doing two things here. There are two branches here of our autonomic nervous system. One is called as sympathetic, one is parasympathetic. Now, what does a sympathetic one do? Now, imagine you all are sitting very peacefully right now in your homes. I can see that. And listen, what if you spot some snake crawling in your room? What will happen here? All of you now are smiling, but I'm sure you're not going to smile when you actually see the snake. You're smiling on my example right now. So, of course, you will do either you will get a stick. If you are like a warrior spirit person, you want to get a stick and get rid of that snake and fight with it. You may fight with the situation, right? Now, what the person will do, maybe run. Don't know where, but somehow sneak into some other room and hide yourself. So what will you do? Run or fight. So either fight and flight is what you're going to do. Correct? Now, this response is really, really important for us. It's not that it's bad when I'm fighting some situation. It is our natural instinct for survival, isn't it? So we need that, obviously. Not bad. But what happens when we have this response? I have a snake in front of me. I have to either fight with that situation or flight or run to the situation. So, what do I need? Of course, I need more energy in the body to do so. This is how nicely my, the system is designed for all of us. So, what happens here? Okay, I have to fight or I have to flight. Both requires a lot of energy. So, now everything is going to change in my body. Some hormones are going to get released which will increase my heartbeat because I have to have more blood pumping to my legs now. For example, because I chose to run, right? So it will happen. Some hormones are going to change my respiratory rate. Obviously, when you perceive some stress, you're going to breathe faster. Your blood pressure is going to increase, your sugar levels, everything is going to change basically. It's going to go higher, right? So this is important because I want to
Run.
tackle the situation. What does the other response do now? Parasympathetic, it is supposed to be our kind of protecting response, the PNS or parasympathetic system, nervous system, where now we are more on the rest and digest thing. Okay, I'm relaxing, everything is okay, and my body's restoring its energy and it's doing all its normal function. I'm at relaxation. So this is what parasympathetic do, which I precisely would call it right now as PNS, parasympathetic nervous system, and SNS is sympathetic nervous system. So now it's not that sympathetic nervous system is making us sick or ill, but nowadays it's not just about snake. I mean, ideally, this response was given to us for survival, but now our sympathetic nervous system of fight and flight gets activated every now and then, not with the snake or a lion or some any natural disaster, even with simple words of someone, even with simple phone call or some deadlines or an email that is not so nice to read in the morning, or any kind of a stressor gives us this response. And that is why many people today have this lifestyle disorders of hypertension, blood pressure, heart problem. Most of it is connected to this aspect of our things, that we are not able to relax ourselves in certain situations. Even externally we feel that okay, I'm distracting myself from that situation, but it's not happening in real way. We are actually more internally still having the hormones flow going on, and the heart is pumping faster, and that is the reason stress hormones are released in the body and we have lot of disorders. And this is the reason we have to understand this mechanism happening quite often now, not with some wild animal or survival, even with simple normal stimulus in the surrounding, we are getting activated with sympathetic nervous system, with all this then things that happen after that. So that is the reason you need to come back to your breath. Just when you feel that, when you perceive that there's a stress, there's a situation, you have to be more proactive in sitting on the chair, on the mat, and regularize your breath. And it will help you in your healing journey as well. I am giving you here in like kind of a very good guarantee with the experience that if you are a patient of high blood pressure, trust me, how much deep breathing is going to help you. Simple deep, forget about different pranayams. That comes next. Simple deep breathing is also going to help you manage your hypertension for sure. It's like a lot of researches have been done on this as well. So what do you need to do when you are in stress? Conscious breathing will also work, that we did yesterday in a sitting position in lying down, no problem. And also a simple response of breathing in through the nose and breathing out through the mouth is also very nice. So how to do that technique, we all can just try it out as a sample to understand this. When actually we are in stress, we can do that. So breathing in through the nostrils and now breathing out through the mouth, like as if we are whistling, you see. Let your exhalations normally, at least on the mat, on your practice, be longer. Why? You already understood what is parasympathetic and sympathetic. Sympathetic means fast, parasympathetic is relaxed. Inhalation is connected to sympathetic, which is needed. No, we need to function also. We don't want to omit it completely. And exhalation is connected to PNS, parasympathetic. So we want to exhale more always. We want to be overall in more rest and digest state than always being on active and fight and flight. So always try to have longer exhalations in the practice. This is a reason why in various practices you will see that teachers always encourage that, okay, you inhale in 4, you exhale in 6 or 8. So that is a ratio of exhalation. But gradually you don't want to conquer it on day 1. Okay? So let's do this 3 times at least now to understand, and try to exhale longer with the mouth. You can also exhale through the nostrils if you want, but sometimes exhalation with mouth can help us for improve our exhalation ratio. So let's do it. And exhale. Once more. Inhaling through the nostrils. Okay, very nice. Very simple technique, very efficient, and very effective instantly to do this. Right? So, anybody has any question, we will take it towards the, like just in 10 minutes we'll be done. So I'm see if you are raising hands. So maybe we can take it because I want to share one magic practice with you also. So remember this, I'm not even touching pranayam yet because it's a very short 2 days workshop where we are just talking on the importance and convincing you to breathe rightly and come back to your breath every time you feel stressful, or if healing is something that you're looking for, then obviously if you breathe in and out in a proper ratio, like how I showed you now, we are creating a balance of flow for our prana. And what is disease as per yoga scriptures? Imbalance in the flow of prana in the body. This is very subtle, of course. Then, when subtle is not taken care, it comes into the physical body, and then it comes in the report, which we all will happily believe. हाँ, अच्छा, अच्छा, इधर problem है. But problem पहले शुरू हुआ था subtly in mind, in body, in prana especially. थोड़ा tiredness लग रहा था, थोड़ा सा pain शुरू हो गया, but we did not take any corrective steps at that time properly. We're not serious enough about our body fitness or exercise. And then it came in the report, and now we are like, okay, now I have to do yoga. If I don't do it, then I have a pain. So you see, it's a vicious cycle. So healing and breath are also very much connected. We are regularizing the flow of prana in the body. We are reaping the benefits of everything that we are doing: exercise, walk, yoga asanas, diet plans, simple sattvic food we are trying to eat. But if we are not breathing properly, you see the absorption, assimilation, many things are getting disturbed here. So give proper justice to your breath every day, right? So that was about the simple breathing techniques that I want to share today. And now I'm coming to the most magical thing. And this is what I call as stop. Stop. STOP technique. This is amazing, life saving, I would say, and it will save you from many disorders that maybe are upcoming in your life because of your erratic lifestyle. Okay, what is stop technique now? Stop stands for like STOP. So S means stop, actually. That's the thing. S means stop. So whatever we are doing, we are working in the kitchen, we are cooking, we are managing other things, we are in the office, whatever we are doing, you have to stop. O, the second, sorry, T. Yeah, you have to take a break. I'm not talking about a big break here of like an hour or so. Minutes, couple of minutes. 1 minute. I'm sure you all have 1 minute from your busy time in the office as well as home. 1 minute. Take a break, right? So T stands for take a break. O means observe. Observe what's happening. This is what happens when we take some chair yoga and corporate seminar. We realized, even for housewives, what to speak, even homemakers who are cooking. So when we observe, we realize that most of the time we are holding a lot of tension on our shoulders, on the neck. Mostly we are doing some task with great, it's nice, we are completely involved with that task, but unfortunately our posture is not correct. Even observe is also helping you to identify how are you sitting. Are you like sloppy and sitting and not in a proper posture? Because remember, postures are very important. Because of these poor postures, you end up having various backache issues, which can become irreversible if you don't correct it on time. So that is one issue that we can have, and we can observe it. And most of the times, you will see that the shoulders are up, tensed. Only when you observe, you realize this, that, oh, I need to relax. You see the difference between this and this now? We are holding a lot of tension in the shoulders because we think that we're the only one responsible for everything, and without me, how things will happen in life. So we have this illusion, and it's normal for all of us who are in the some role in the house and the leader in the family. So this comes on the shoulder unconsciously, burden. And when this is always in tension, back pain, lower back pain, cervical, spondylitis, the journey starts here. You see? So this is a reason the stop practice is very helpful. If I'm doing this regularly, I'm very much aware that I am holding tension. Let me relax. And P stands for proceeding. Okay, now done. You have relaxed your shoulders. You were not sitting properly. You were sitting sloppy and your back was not straight. You again realign. Just do some quick twist on the chair, or if you're on the kitchen, use your kitchen platform nicely. You place your palms on the kitchen platform, nicely stretch your back, and then again get back and breathe. Take the time to breathe nicely. So the stop technique, I know in few yoga ashrams, in some corporate offices where fortunately your boss happens to be a yoga lover, then these things are done. And even if you're an employee, you can encourage this. So what happens in stop practice, how they encourage the stop practice regularly at home and in offices? You keep some alarm or a bell in the house, or anything, any musical instrument, or an alarm in the mobile phone, or whatever is good, what do you think is wise to do. And then at frequent, like let's say at every 45 minutes, every 1 hour, somebody is responsible to ring that bell, or you set up the alarm accordingly in the office, in the house, in the wherever setup you are. When it rings, everybody stops. Everybody stop. Amazing idea, right? I love this and I do this. Everybody stops in the house, no matter how busy or irritated and whatever emotions they are going through, they stop. This also helps in managing a lot of conflicts at home or in the offices. When you're going through some conflict, the bell rings, you have to stop. Okay, I have a time to reflect on what am I saying, if I'm overreacting, if I am like getting angry, or if I'm not breathing right, if there's a tension I'm holding on the body, everything you have a time to look. The moment you start adding this in your daily lifestyle, you will see that you are already taking a lot of prevention. If it has happened, of course, you have to manage it now. But if you're still at a stage where you have a pretty fit lifestyle and you're good, you like doing such things, then add this, you will see a simple stop practice is going to go a long way in your healing, because you'll be constantly, regularly correcting yourself, not again getting back only when it's already, some report have come, and then that is little like, more struggle. Then it's not that it's yoga can't do that too. Yoga can help in managing it. So this is one amazing idea that I fell in love with when I heard it. I read it in the book, and I thought of that it's my mission to share this with everyone, and everyone has to do it in their family, in the offices, in whatever setup you are. Take this resolve today on the World Breathing Day. Promise whoever is there, online, offline, whoever hears this class later, right? So thank you for a big response. I'm getting a good thumbs up and this amazing idea. So stop, take a breath. Taking a breath will bring you to the present moment. O for observing. Observe the things happening around you and inside you both. And then P means proceed. Okay, whatever I was doing, now I get back with more awareness. I have seen that I personally felt less tired when I did this regularly. If I am like continuously, I am committed to some task, and there's no option, but I have to continue do it. But stop. There's some tension in the shoulder, release it. Back is a little bit twisted, and just it's like a detox, quick detox for the mind and body, and now get back with new energy, and things are productive, things are better. And if you keep on doing things in that tired and painful situation, your creepy self and your productivity also decreases. So if you're a boss in the company, if you're an employee, you see, if you want to improve the productivity of your staff, of your family members, their health, fitness, make sure you encourage this stop. So forget everything from the class that I've said, but try to do this stop practice. I don't mind if you forget everything from today's class, because it was pretty basic where I wanted to correct your breathing, and I hope you understood it. But the biggest takeaway is this magical practice of mindful breathing and a stop practice. Okay. So I will stop here today, just in case if you have any questions. And if there are no comments or questions, I can also help you in summarizing the whole flow and any general questions that anyone has. So one question was about some yoga scriptures that I think Srinivas Ji was asking. I just have to reread the question again. Uh, instead of Veda, which part of scripture is too essential of study of yoga? So whatever I'm talking right now, there are several books that I usually refer, that I have been reading, but the base comes from a yogic scripture called as Hatha Yoga. All these Hatha Yoga Pradipika books that are there, they're coming from it, the base. However, if you have no exposure to the scripture of yoga, you might find it a little esoteric, and no, you may not understand it properly. So I would recommend that you can follow some commentaries on that, which will be more practical for you to go on daily basis. So you can follow that as well. And I already recommended you one book which is really good, which is The Power of Breathing by Dr. Renu Mahatani. So that I was asked to put in a WhatsApp group, but I realized that we have so many groups, and I'm not sure which group we have. So I thought, let me just put it on the verbally over here only. There are many groups where it'll be like a little distracting to many who are not following the program. So this is a book that I will highly recommend, and Prana and Pranayam book by Bihar School of Yoga. So Prabhu has asked a question here on Zoom, that what should be the ratio of Anulom Vilom? Yes, that's also a wonderful practice. For those who know this practice, I'm sure you're reaping the benefits of it. So ideal ratio, I'm talking about the ideal ratio in 3 stages now. The first ratio is where we inhale at the count of 4 and exhale also at the count of 4. And since you know Anulom Vilom, I'm not repeating, but it's alternate, right? Inhaling left, exhale right, inhaling right, exhale left. So that is the first stage. If you're a beginner, you start by inhaling at the count of 4 and exhaling at the count of 4 as well. Now, as you develop consistency in your practice, you inhale in 4 and exhale in 6. And then later on, you inhale, again, you are consistent with this and you find it easy. scriptures warn us here that you should never force yourself in pranayam practices. You should go slowly. The moment you feel you're comfortable now with longer ratios, then only it's a time to now pep up. So 4:6 is something you're very comfortable now. Then we go for the ideal ratio, which is 1:2. So if we inhale in 4, we exhale in 8. Again, gradually. Okay, this is not to be taken cheaply here, but if you are a consistent pranayam practitioner, if you are able to now breathe in 5, then you breathe out in 10. And gradually you also incorporate the locks in it. But in this platform, I won't be able to talk much about bandhas and kumbhak because that is a little advanced subject matter, which cannot be done by masses if you're not, if the breathing capacity is not developed yet. But if you start doing locking the breathing and doing kumbhak, then it's not nice. But for few of you, if you have my contact, you can personally also write down the question for your pranayam practice that you're doing. If you need any guidance, I'm happy to help. But on a public platform, I would not speak about kumbhak bandhas because it's a little hazardous for the health if not done or understood in the correct spirit. So ideal ratio, if there is no lock or kumbhakas or bandhas, then 1:2 is the ideal ratio for your anulom vilom practice. Okay. So if she is asking if there's any WhatsApp group of Govardhan School of Yoga, so yes, we have a WhatsApp group. You connect to our Facebook page, send us your number, and we will be adding for those. So what do we do on our groups? We try to keep you updated with different online, offline programs happening at Govardhan Eco Village. So we do that as well. So I'm ending here today the session. Thank you so much, everyone, for your enthusiastic participation in the program, and hoping to see you all again in upcoming workshops that we keep having with more doubts and more enthusiasm. What I would really want you to do is now is to really correct your breathing and start getting consistent into your practices, and you are going to reap a lot of benefits. So only consistency is the key, and there's no technique or any class or any workshop to teach you on how to be sincere and consistent. We all I can do as a teacher is to give you a technique on doing it right, but sincerity and consistency is something that has to come within. So thank you so much for joining in. Thank you. Namaste.